Hey everyone, today I'm going to making a totally objective Sonic the Hedgehog tier list. And remember, this is not my opinion, this is all the truth. With that in mind, let's get started. First off, Sonic 06, definitely the best game ever, even if I don't personally enjoy it. I totally don't enjoy this game, but it's super great. It's amazing. It definitely belongs in the S tier. It definitely doesn't have any game-breaking bugs or glitches at all, like some power meter that's supposed to drain, but you can abuse infinitely, which is not fun at all. But anyway, it's a really great game that doesn't have anything like that, so S tier automatically. Sonic Force is like objectively the worst. It totally doesn't run stably at 30 frames per second. It totally has tons of bugs and glitches. It totally doesn't have any alternate paths. So obviously goes in the D tier. Like, I hope you can tell that I'm being sarcastic and this is not an objective tier list. Sonic Lost World, the story is great, actually, but the gameplay itself is just a rip-off of everything in the Mario Galaxy games, which is terrible because Mario was great, but it has a good story, so it goes in the C tier instead of D. Sonic Mania, best game ever, totally not a copy of every classic game that came before it, not a shameless cash grab like Sonic 4. No, Sonic 4 doesn't get a pass because it's a bad game. Sonic Mania goes in the S tier immediately. Sonic Spinball, it's way too Western. It's not... oh wait, Sonic Spinball isn't on this list. Shadow the Hedgehog, way too edgy. It's not like this was a trend that was going on in the past. No, this was totally unprecedented for a game, and it's not like Jak and Daxter did this. Like, this was a totally dumb idea. Like, who thought this was good? Sonic Unleashed, like, the Werehog sucks, and, like, the game totally has way too much, like, this is the worst Sonic game ever. Like, it's not totally, like, the Werehog is, like, badly designed and totally doesn't have any diversity of moveset that you could do to keep getting through the levels, so a different playstyle is a bad playstyle. So this goes in the C tier, although the music is good, so I'll give it that. Sonic Advance 2, a great game, totally underrated, and totally doesn't have tedious ways of getting to the special stages, and totally doesn't require you to beat them all 4 times, and this way to get to the special stages is totally intuitive. It goes in the S tier right away. Sonic Rush, it has Blaze the Cat in it, and it's tied to Sonic 06, which is a bad game all of a sudden. So it goes in the D tier. And Sonic 4, it's totally a ripoff of the classic games. It's totally unoriginal. It goes in the D tier. And Sonic 3 and Knuckles, it goes in S tier because it's totally innovative. It's not just, what you'd expect next from a Sonic the Hedgehog game. And it's not too long at all. It goes in the S tier. Sonic 1, way too overrated. It's like Marble Zone, Labyrinth Zone, even though it's like less than a third of the game, the bad zones are less than a third of the game. Like, even though that is, but they still exist. So this goes in the D tier. Sonic and the Secret Rings. It has a great story. That automatically puts it in the S tier. Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric. Yeah, I've personally never played this one, but I've heard it's way too buggy and doesn't have any redeeming qualities like the soundtrack or anything like that. But it spawned a great TV show, and for that alone, it goes in the S tier right away. Then Sonic R, you're totally supposed to know that you're supposed to press the L and R buttons to steer Sonic in the opposite direction. That's totally intuitive and not at all misleading or frustrating. So it goes in the S tier. It's a great game, and Sonic didn't have a rough transition to 3D because this game is not the 3D game people were expecting. So, but even if it was, it's not that bad. So, Sonic Heroes, super great, not tedious or boring at all. And having to do the same thing 4 times and play slippery special stages, which are hard to get to in the first place to have a chance at getting 100% in this game. Totally not tedious, totally not overly difficult or unfair at all. It goes in the S tier right away. And Sonic Generations. This game is way overrated. It just copies everything that came before, but it gets to get away with it, unlike Sonic 4, because it's a good game. So it goes in the S tier. Sonic CD, like, totally not a labyrinth maze, like, totally not overly complicated, totally... But hey, it introduced Amy Rose and Metal Sonic, which is, like, not totally uncreative to just make another copy of Sonic when Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 did the same thing and had other copies of Sonic. No, like, yeah, they appeared, but this one only for only one act, but this one only appears for one act too, but it's bad because this is the game that introduced the most iconic version, so it gets the A tier. Sonic Adventure 2, like, no, it has different gameplay styles, and different is bad. And it also got rid of the 3 alternate gameplay styles that made the first game so exciting to play. It goes in the C tier. Sonic Adventure 1, it totally goes in the A tier. It totally doesn't have any alternate gameplay styles that drag the game down. It goes in the A tier, definitely. No, it goes in S. If you can't tell, I'm being sarcastic. Sonic 2, it's like Sonic 1, but slightly better. It's not great. The story is super basic, almost no story to be seen. It goes in the C tier. Sonic Colors, this is the worst game in the series. It totally wasn't the game that the series needed. It totally wasn't commercially successful and brought the series in the right direction. It totally didn't do any of that. So for that, it goes in the D tier. This is the worst game by far. And anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video that is totally objective and not at all my personal opinion and totally not mimicking every other talking point from every other Sonic fan on YouTube. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Stay safe, stay awesome.